Obviously Houston, the guy coming in at mid-year, I remember, watching this recruiting tape, you got a guy who was playing both positions in high school, safety and corner. You like that he has the cover skills, because when you play a quarter system, you want a guy at safety who can have those cover skills. But he's big enough to hold up in a run game. He shows he has some physicality. And, with how deep we are at corner, it's one of those situations where we want to try to get the best guys on the field, and we want to give him opportunity and look at him at safety. The week that he's been there, he's done a great job as far as picking it up. He's a smart kid. Really happy how he's progressed so far. Big physical guy. Loves to play down in the box. Really coachable. Asks us a lot of questions. Really pleased on how he's progressed this spring. A guy that we got to get to be a better guy in space in a deep part of the field. His size is something that you want to use to your advantage. So we want to put him in positions where he can make plays and give us that physical presence in the middle of the field. I think Alohi is a guy who's very athletic. He has great instincts, a guy who can really play from sideline to sideline. You love how he sees it and he goes, and now you want him to kind of go past the speed limit a little bit, yet still be under control. And I think that's the biggest thing for him, and I think he was so excited to get back in the mix after spending a year on scout team. And like I told him, one of the biggest things that he had to adjust to is on the scout team, you're looking at a card and you're really just following a line. Now it's more about processing what's going on, how to match routes, how to get yourself in the right position, how to read what's happening, what the offense is trying to do. So that's been our deal with him these first 2 weeks of practice. There's no question. All of those guys, are in the mix because nobody's done enough up until this point to really pull away. Stud's a guy who really, I talk to Stud all the time about, I think good players are honest with themselves and know their limitations. And you can be a good player with limitations when you understand what your limits are and you don't put yourself in that position to get exposed. So the better he can become before the ball snap, understanding what's happening and understanding what are the weaknesses in this game and putting himself in position not to get those weaknesses exposed. And the more he does that, the more he can be in the mix. And that takes a tremendous amount of discipline, because at the end of the day, we recruit these guys and everybody thinks they're 4'4" or 4'5", but at the end of the day, there's probably only 2 or 3 4'4s or 4'5s in America. And so when you realize what you can't do and try to stay away from that situation. I told the guys one of our early meetings, when I was playing baseball, somebody asked me how to become a great curveball hitter. I said, don't swing at it, because there is no great curveball hitters. The same thing for the guys in the back end. If you have your limitations, don't put yourself in that situation to get exposed.